hey, the IRS is just doing what the IRS does. If they can get your money and take the money from you every week, why wouldn't they do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, we have to start looking at us.
And I always tell people the difference between where we are and where we want to be is the information that we do not know.
At an early age, at 14, I learned that I had to pay taxes. Okay, no one told me who these people are, where the money's going, where did it come from. I just was told in order to work, you have to pay taxes.
First, you have to learn how to make money. Then you have to learn how to keep money, then multiply money. So I feel like this is going to be great for my audience.
At an early age, at 14, I learned that I had to pay taxes. Okay, no one told me who these people are, where the money's going, where did it come from. I just was told in order to work, you have to pay taxes. And so when I started to get in debt because of taxes, like I owed over $180,000 in taxes, and every year it was going up, I had to ask myself, what is really going on? I had to begin to ask questions. Growing up, you never were taught to ask questions.
Fact.
You just shut up and dribble.
That's a fact.
Just do what the next man did, right? Like just get behind and do what you have to do. And so I began to question myself, like, what is this? And I asked God to help me. But really, Public Law 97-280 tells you that the Bible is the rock of this nation. So does it mean you can't serve whomever you serve that's going to make you a better person and treat your neighbor right? You can serve whomever you want. But when it comes to the IRS, you got to look at who are they listening to? People don't even know where they came from.
Right.
So I'm telling you, they don't go outside of the Constitution, even though we think they do. The government is not going to infringe on your rights unless you give them your rights. You know, it comes from the consent of the governed. That's the people. Okay, they can't do anything to me that I haven't allowed them to do.
Wow.
So we have to start understanding, hey, we have to utilize these tax codes to help me. And that's where the 508c1a comes to play. And that is a private membership association that allows you to operate your business fully out of that PMA, that ministry, where you can keep all your money. The difference between you and the 1% is that they've learned how to keep their money. Right? Okay, why should you work so hard and then give the money away?
Facts.
I mean, come on. I don't have a problem with the IRS.
Right. Because you leverage it. You're and it's like we always say, the more you learn, the more you earn. But really, the more you learn, the more you're able to just be better in life, as you said.
Exactly. Look, Donald Trump stood in front of the world and said he don't pay taxes because he's smart.
For specifically business owners, does structure or entity type matter when it comes to tax liability and keeping more of our money?
Well, yeah, because the problem is it's in your name. You're the responsible party. So you take any structure, it's going to come back to you and your SSN number, right? Or the SSN number it's not really yours. It tells you on the back of the card it's not yours, even though we keep it close like it is ours. It doesn't even belong to us. But any entity can go to a disregarded entity, which is a LLC. And then at that time, it can be a pass-through. So let me tell you, if you have an LLC, right now, you're the sole member, right, with your EIN number. If you have an LLC and you make the church the owner, now your name is off of it. The Rockefeller said, control everything, own nothing. We running around owning everything and bragging about it. And owning things only means you're going to be taxed.
Someone who's maybe making like 7 figures in their business. Are there any gems you could give to a person who's in that 7-figure plus ballpark who's looking at?
Well, they're probably in the 37, 42, 43 tax bracket. I mean, you know, how do you brag about that? You have all the money and like almost half of it is leaving. So let me start with the W-2 worker. The W-2 worker, the IRS tells you that you can donate 60% of what you make off of your adjusted gross income to your church, to the church. Wow. But if you don't understand that you're the church, then you're thinking the church down the street. People pay their tithes. Here's the good thing. Pay your tithes. Do what you got to do. But here's the difference. They give you a tax deduction acknowledgement, but then they take the money and spend it for who? The minister, right? So why can't you be the minister?